Welcome to Thursday's Word. Today I'm in the library because once again I want to speak about Martin Luther, or more specifically about the Small Catechism, and even more specifically about the Ten Commandments, which is one of the items that Luther explains in the Small Catechism. This came to mind because this weekend, when I was on my tour of Ohio, which replaced the vacation I had originally planned, I happened to be in a small town, and I noticed when I was stopped at a light that the Presbyterian church on the corner had the Ten Commandments written in large black print on the side of the building so that they would be easy to read. I wondered how many people sat at that light and read those commandments. Maybe some of them would try to memorize them, a different one each day as they drove by. Or maybe people just overlook them, as is often the case when it comes to things that are routine and that we often see. Do you know the Ten Commandments? I'm sure many people memorize them at some point in their lives, but it's easy to forget exactly what they are. The first three commandments have to do with our relationship with God. In this edition of Luther's Small Catechism, those three commandments are printed in this way. The first commandment is, "You shall have no other gods." The second commandment is, "You shall not make wrongful use of the name of the Lord your God." Or, as I learned it, "You shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain." And the third commandment is, "Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy." And then the remaining commandments, the next 7, have to do with our relationship with one another. And of course, if we follow these commandments, not only will our relationships be better, but our world will be a better place in which to live. They are, honor your father and your mother, you shall not murder, you shall not commit adultery, you shall not steal, you shall not bear false witness against your neighbor, you shall not covet. And then Martin Luther, or I should say the biblical writer, lists those things that would have been worth coveting all those years ago. You shall not covet your neighbor's house. You shall not covet your neighbor's wife or male servant or female servant or ox or donkey or anything that belongs to your neighbor. And then in the Catechism, Luther explains each of the commandments. And the way he does it is to always remind his readers not only just to do the commandment, but to take it one step further. The one that I always find to be interesting is the 8th commandment. You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. Here's what Luther says this commandment means. We are to fear and love God so that we do not tell lies about our neighbors, betray or slander them, or destroy their reputations. Instead, we are to come to their defense, speak well of them, and interpret everything they do in the best possible light. Wow, that sure is a lot more than not bearing false witness. Another one that is really interesting is, you shall not murder. Now that seems pretty straightforward to us, but listen to Martin Luther's explanation. We are to fear and love God so that we neither endanger nor harm the lives of our neighbors, but instead help and support them in all of life's needs. Indeed, Martin Luther reminds us that God's call to follow the commandments is not easy, but makes us better people and our world a better place. Have a great day.